We continue with Roman from Questbook, but also who would present Reclaim. And in that sense, it's an interesting that here we would talk a lot about how to breach Web2 and free audiences. And I think it's one of the still massive challenges for privacy, how we transform or transmit people from Web2 world, but also preserving lots of their data and not leaking so much data, especially when you could combine on-chain, off-chain data and have a huge de-anonymized set that you could expose.
Thanks. Yeah, really happy with this, with the time of this slot, because all other talks and presentations, they sort of build, you know, the right questions and the right background for my talk. I'll tell today about the self-governed user data and how we're gonna, you know, bring it to Web3, take it from Web2. So Reclaim, a few words about the branding. Reclaim is a product by Questbook. So guys who are big in Web3, helping, thanks. They were helping to distribute grants for bigger like players, layers, chains. But they came up with a quite nice technical solution for privacy. That's basically a reclaim. So what's the problem here? Proof of personhood. We want to make sure that, you know, that the person is real. If we speak about Web3, it's mostly, you know, airdrop farming, which is a big problem for new players who are trying to use incentivized growth by distributing airdrops after, you know, completing some activities. You can see here that, you know, quite recent one, ETHRome, they were penetrated quite hard by those like cyber attackers. So what's possible? How it can be resolved? There are multiple solutions. The biometric solution and social graphs. Vitalik covered that. He was mentioned a lot today as well. He covered that in one of his last articles. Basically, you know, there is this thing WorldCoin trying to do, building a whole new technological layer. When you scan your iris, it produces unique ID, unique credential, and everything else is built on top of it. There is social graphing, which is quite hard because, you know, in Web3, we don't have that data. We can't connect it yet. So, yeah, so our solution in Reclaim, we were looking somewhere, you know, somewhere in between. We're thinking about Web2 data, how to bring it, because everyone here, everyone, you know, using internet in any capacity, they leave the digital trail. So it likes provide the unique fingerprint for every person alive. And we believe that might be a perfect solution for the existing problem of proof of personhood. So there are, you know, several things you most likely own. It's a bank account, a subscription to some service, Spotify, Netflix. No matter how, you know, public you are in the internet, you might not have any social networks, but you still will use something, at least an email, right? Your purchases on Amazon, stuff like that, they you know, serve well for the purpose of proving your realness, without giving your identity out. So we have some solutions on the market already. Most of them use APIs from already existing social services, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Google. ETHRome was mentioned here as a like governmental ID, but those APIs, you know, they require consent from the service. They provide you with a limited amount of data. It's not that perfect. So in Reclaim, we found a way to bring much more variable Web2 data into Web3 and connect it anonymously with, you know, with user identities, let's say a wallet. And we don't ask for a consent from a website to do so. Yeah, so we can import any data from your account with your consent to make it like into a proof. And we can selectively reveal that data, showing that you have more than, let's say, $10,000 on your account, but without disclosing, you know, the real value there. That leads us to user reputation, how it all combines. We will use definitely, like, Web3 data is really popular, on-chain analysis, number of transactions, mostly user, like, humanhood is validated through the number, through the activity on-chain right now. And with addition of, like, social proofs, so you're connecting your Twitter or LinkedIn account or something like that, but it doesn't have, like, a lot of weight in the process of, choosing who's real and who's not. So we can use Web3 data, Web2 data extracted by Reclaim or TLS Notary, users vouching for each other, that becoming a thing, because right now, like, after that, you can transform the data which is gated by corporations like Google and Facebook. They will not, allow you to disclose it ideally, but we have a chance to do that. So this reputation tool gonna be really cheap for real users, because you still, it's your day-to-day activity. There is nothing special you need to do. You just use your Spotify, play games in Steam, shop on Amazon, and then you can anonymously connect that to your wallet to prove that you're a real human who's interested in getting, let's say, an airdrop or something, or credit or something like that. And it's gonna be super expensive for cyber attackers, because they won't be able to scale it enough, because you need to invest a lot of money in those, natural-looking identities of people in social networks or any other services. So all of that combined, most likely we'll have a really great solution to a lot of, existing problems. That's missing chain, missing a link between connecting Web2 and Web3. Yep. Thank you.